Deep in the heart of the ancient kingdom of Zamora, there ruled a king whose vanity was as vast as the savannah. King Tamar the Proud sat upon the throne, with his fingers heavy with rings from Mali, his neck draped in the finest coral beads, and his feet shod in sandals woven with threads of silver. The king had conquered many lands, but one enemy eluded him: time itself. One evening, as King Tamar feasted on roasted antelope and palm wine, he turned to his council and declared, "I will not fade into the earth like common men. Build me a resting place so grand that even the gods will pause in awe when they pass it." The royal architects trembled. The diviners whispered warnings, but none dared refuse. The construction begins. For 7 years, the kingdom labored. Miners dug deep into sacred hills for gold, leaving the earth scarred and barren. Farmers abandoned their crops to haul stones, and famine crept into the villages. Artisans carved the king's face into every wall, his scowling likeness watching over the suffering people. The sepulchre rose, a mountain of glittering stone, its domes plated in gold, its pillars inlaid with sapphires. On the day of completion, as the king admired his tomb, an old seer emerged from the crowd. His skin was cracked like drought-stricken earth, his staff a gnarled branch of tree. "Great king," he rasped, "this house you build for death will be your prison in life." The courtiers gasped. The king laughed and ordered the man whipped. As the lash fell, the seer whispered a curse. "What you have taken from the earth will take from you." That night, the first termite crawled onto the sepulchre's golden door. The crack spread that by morning, a hairline fracture split the door. The king commanded his smiths to seal it with molten gold. But the next day, 2 more cracks appeared. Then 4. Then 8. No matter how much gold they poured, the fractures multiplied, creeping up the walls like black veins. The statues of the king's face began to weep. Not tears, but blood-red sap from the sacred camwood trees used in their carving. Mad with fury, King Tamar ordered, slaves flogged for poor workmanship, diviners executed for failing to lift the curse. The old seer was buried alive at the tomb's threshold. That night, the king dreamt of the earth goddess. She stood before him, her body the color of wet soil, her hair woven with roots. "You have starved my body of its gold," she hissed. "Now I starve you of your legacy." He awoke screaming, only to find himself looking old and weak. He suddenly became a shadow of himself. He was bedridden with sickness for months. And in desperation, he ordered his servants to lock him up in the sepulchre, and he died afterwards,